Welcome to Maths with Paro. Today's question is from January 2021, P2, question 10. The question involves series, arithmetic series, as well as geometric series, finding the terms, as well as the sum of arithmetic series and geometric series. Let's begin. The first part of the question is where they talk about a marathon, and there is a training plan A where in week 1 you run 15 kilometers. So we consider that to be essentially our first term. And in week 2 you run, in week 12 you run 37 kilometers. So we say that term 12 is 37. Now let me remind you that the general term of an arithmetic series is given by Tn. T is the term number and n is the number of the term. Tn means the term number, and that's equal to a plus n minus 1 into d, where a is considered to be the first term, a is the first term, and d is the common difference. So here we have the 12th term. We're given the 12th term, we're given the first term, and we know that if Tn is equal to a plus n minus 1 into d, then we can say that the 12th term, T12, is going to be a plus 11d. Now we already know, and we have been given the information that the 12th term is 37. So we equate a plus 11d to 37. When we do that, we end up with d is equal to 2. And that is the first part of the question, part A. They say calculate the distance that he will run. So we have got d equals 2. We also have the first, so this is the question they ask, calculate the distance he will run in week 2. We have that a is equal to 15. We have that the common difference d is equal to 2. And they're asking for the T5, the 5th week. And we know from our formula that T5 is equal to a plus 4d. So we're going to use that here to just simply substitute the information that we have. T5 is equal to a plus 4d. A is 15 plus 4 into d is 2, and we have 23. So that's how we find out the distance that has been run in week 5. That answers our part A. Now let's move on to part B of this question. In part B, they say in training plan B, he will increase his distance by the same percentage. Now that is a hint for us to know that it is not going to be arithmetic. I'm just going to white out all of this so that you're not distracted. So that's a hint for us to know that it's not going to be arithmetic, and it's probably going to be geometric. All right. So here, let's look at the information given to us. In training plan B, he increases his distance by so much. And again, we have the first term is 15, the 12th term is 37. And let me remind you about the nth term of a geometric series is given by a times r to the power n minus 1, where, so I'm going to say for geometric, the earlier one was for arithmetic, this is for geometric. The general term is Tn is equal to a times r to the power n minus 1, where once again a is the first term and r is considered to be the common ratio. Okay, R is the common ratio. All right. So here we have T12. So T12 is going to be A times R to the power n minus 1, which is 11. So here we have T12 is going to be is 37, and 37 we know is going to be A times R to the power 11. So here we have 37 is 15, since A is 15, R to the power 11. So R to the power 11 is 37 over 15. And then we're going to take the 11th root of 37 over 15. We end up with having 1.08854. The question they're asking us is what the distance is in week 5. So we want to find week 5. According to the formula of the geometric sequence, the fifth term, T5, is AR to the power 4, which is 15 into 1.0855 to the power 4, which is 20.8 kilometers. All right. So that answers our part B. Now let's move on to part C. Find the maximum value of X. And let me just give more information there. Find the maximum value of X. So Owen will also run a fixed distance X each Wednesday. Just trying to adjust it so it's as clear as possible to you all. So Owen will also run a fixed distance each Wednesday of X kilometers each Wednesday over the 12-week period. And X is an integer. So every week he's going to run X kilometers. So that means in 1 week he runs X kilometers and each Wednesday. And in 12 weeks he's going to run 12 X kilometers. Okay. So the total distance Owen will run on Sundays and Wednesdays over 12 weeks will not exceed 360. So basically what they're trying to tell us here is if he runs X kilometers each Wednesday, then he runs 12 X kilometers for the 12 Wednesdays. And that is fixed. Now, we're talking about Wednesdays plus Sundays. Wednesdays plus Sundays, they say he cannot exceed or equal to 360 kilometers. So it can be 360 kilometers, but it cannot exceed 360 kilometers. So we know that he's going to run 12x plus Sundays total for 12 weeks, right? And that sum is going to be less than or equal to 360 because we know that he cannot exceed that. So here I'm going to write it in this way. Now they're talking about two plans, training plan A and training plan B. So if you look at training plan A, this would be an arithmetic sequence, okay? Arithmetic. So we have 12x plus the sum of 12 terms or 12 weeks okay? Sum of 12 weeks which is equal to 12x plus Sn, which is equal to what is S12? S12 is equal to, now let's look at what Sn is equal to. Sn is equal to n over 2. I'm going to write down what Sn is equal to. n over 2 into, this is, I'm talking about the arithmetic sequence sum, the formula for the sum of arithmetic sequence, n over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. That is the formal formula for that. And of course, if it's going to be S12, then we're going to substitute the values that we have. So for S12, we're going to have S12 is equal to 12 over 2 into 2a plus n minus 1 is 12 minus 1 is 11d. All right. And now I'm going to substitute all of it in here. So we have 12x plus S12 is less than or equal to 360. And 12x is this. S12 is 12 over 2 into 15 because a is 15 plus 11 into d where d is 2. And I end up with this inequality where we have 12x and this whole expression here is going to end up being 312. So we have 12x plus 312 is less than or equal to 60. Okay, so once we do that, when we solve it, we end up with x less than or equal to 4. And we'll get a perfect answer of 4. Now that's for C part 1. The next one, which is find the maximum value, and I'm going to just clear everything to help you. Find the maximum value if you use training plan B. And I'm also going to white out part A so that it's not going to confuse you. So let's look at C part 2. This is the value, maximum value of x for training plan B. This is going to be geometric, as we have established. And what do we know? A is equal to 15. And we also have that R is equal to 1.0855. And we have n is equal to 12. So for us to find out the sum, we have got 12x plus we have got S, the sum for 12 weeks, Sn or S12 for a geometric series. Now let's go ahead and compute that value. So we have 12x plus S12, where for a geometric sequence, Sn is equal to A into R to the power n minus 1 over R minus 1. Okay, R to the power n minus 1 over R minus 1. Okay, now if we substitute what we know, we will have, I'll take another color, S12 is equal to 15 into 1.0855 to the power 12 minus 1 over 1.0855 minus 1. I'm just substituting the values that I know for Sn, where A is 15 and where R is equal to these values here that we have, where A is 15, R is 1.0885 and N is 12. So now let's go back to our computation of the maximum, the distance that he has traveled. The distance he travels has to be less than or equal to 360 because it cannot exceed 360. So we have 12x plus S12 is less than 360. And here we have that it should be less than or equal to here actually. So I'm just going to add that less than or equal to here. And then we have 12x plus this whole thing that I repeat here, 15 into 1.085 to the power 12 minus 1 over 1.0855 minus 1. If we simplify all of that, we get 12x plus 294.11 is less than 360. We get x is less than 5.4. Since we've been told that x is an integer, we have to have x less than 5. I'm just going to clear everything so it's clear for you. Well, that's all for now. I hope you understood my explanation. Goodbye until my next video on Maths with Parul.